Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Amma ba'd, dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this new episode of Ask Huda, broadcasting to you live from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And you will find the numbers as usual, inshallah, displayed at the bottom of the screen. So if you have a question, go ahead and call and we will try to answer it, inshallah. Doti has a question sent by the email. He says, is it true that if you don't do something which is wajib in salat, your salat is valid, but you have a sin for not doing that wajib? In a nutshell, no, this is not true. If a person does not do something that is wajib, meaning obligatory, then he has committed a sin if he had done this intentionally, and his prayer is invalid. However, if he dropped this wajib unintentionally, or due to forgetfulness, or because he was ignorant, in this case he has to compensate this during salat by offering sujood as-sahw, the prostrations, the two prostrations of forgetfulness. Now, having said that, it has to be clear to all Muslims that salat is composed of pillars that if you leave intentionally or unintentionally and could not make them up, then your prayer is invalid, regardless. Someone prays Asr, 3 rak'ahs, and remembers after few hours, his prayer is invalid totally. He forgot the sajda and did not remember except after half an hour, his prayer is invalid. The second thing is mandatory acts. If a person abandons an obligatory act of salat, or a mandatory act, such as, for example, saying Subhana Rabbi al-Azim in ruku', or Subhana Rabbi al-A'la in sujood, or the first tashahhud in a 3 or 4 rak'ah prayer, he stands up without doing the tashahhud. If he does this intentionally, then his prayer is invalid. If he does it out of forgetfulness or out of ignorance, for example, in this case, he has to compensate this with 2 prostrations of sahw, depending on the situation, whether before salam or after salam. And if he forgets to do the sujood as-sahw, his prayer is valid. The third component is the sunnah, such as raising the hands when saying Allahu Akbar, or putting your right over the left on the chest while in the standing position. These are sunnah acts. If you do them, you're rewarded, and if you skip them altogether, intentionally, your prayer is valid and there's no sin on you. Madhar says, according to Islam, is it okay to read horoscopes without believing in them? And the answer is no, this is totally prohibited. When someone goes or by himself reads material that predicts his future, that tells him this would happen to you in a week time, in a month time, in a year time, he is one of two. Either he has strong belief that this is true, and that person or this magazine or the fortune teller is saying the truth and he knows the future. So whoever believes in that, he's a kafir. He has nullified his Islam, because no one knows the future except Allah Azza wa Jal. No one knows al-ghayb except Allah the Almighty. The second person is a person who knows that this is a lie and he's just there for the fun of it. So he goes to a fortune teller, to a soothsayer, to a priest, to anyone who claims to predict your future by reading your palm, by reading your coffee, Turkish coffee after you finish it, and they can tell by reading the marks and the drawings on the sand, by flipping oysters or things of the seashells, and predicting your future through it. You're just doing it for the fun of it. Well, the punishment for that fun is that Allah would not accept the prayers of 40 days, though you don't believe. But if you believe, you're a kafir. So this is not something to be taken lightly. It is totally prohibited to even come close to that venue. Katie says, is that true that Ibn Uthaymeen, after he heard the evidence on vaginal discharges from a doctor, he changed his opinion, saying that these discharges do not nullify ablution? Now, what Katie asking about is the continuous wetness that a lot of women face. Though this is not answering the call of nature, this is not something, it's like a discharge, but it's not due to illness. It's a discharge that is healthy. So Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen, may Allah have mercy on his soul, says that this is pure. It is not najis, and it is like sweating, and the majority of women have it. In the early times, he used to say that this is pure, but a woman has to renew her wudu. So whenever the time comes for a prayer and the adhan is called, she has to make wudu. And this is the same ruling of al-ma'dhur, a person who has continuous urination, passing of wind that never stops. But the most authentic opinion, and Allah Azza wa Jalla knows best, that making wudu when the adhan is called doesn't change a thing. Meaning that it's still continuous, and even if you make wudu, it's going to break. So the most authentic thing is that those who have this thing continuous with them, that is allegedly would break their wudu, it would not affect their wudu until they break their wudu with something else. So if someone like this sister who has continuous vaginal discharges, and these are normal for all women or most women, if she makes wudu for dhuhr and the adhan of asr is called and she did not nullify her wudu, she may pray. There's no problem in that. But if she passes wind, if she breaks her wudu with something else, in this case she has to make wudu. But with the thing that she has ongoing 24/7, this doesn't affect her wudu, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Mujib from Bahrain. Mujib from Bahrain.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, Mujiba. Okay, sorry. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Yes, Mujiba.
Sheikh, please ask me a question.
Yes, what's your question?
My question is regarding every month we have like fasting, like on 13th and 14th and 15th, no?
Okay.
So also we have like Monday and Salat day. So in 1 month, both of them I can fast, no problem?
Okay. Any more questions?
Okay, the second question is about Tahajjud or Qiyam al-Layl.
Okay.
Okay, so here in Bahrain 3:55 it is Fajr prayer. So if I finish my praying at 3:10, it is the time, it is okay for me?
What time is Fajr prayer?
3:35, as I'm saying, for Fajr. I finish in like 3 o'clock like before Tahajjud.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, the first question is about if someone go in the Hajj and when they return back from Hajj, they give him the name of the nickname. They call them Haji. For example, his name is Abdullah. When he return back, they call him Hajj Abdullah. It is
Okay.
permissible?
Okay. Any more questions?
No, it is gone. Thank you.
Okay, you're quite welcome. And we have Abu Huraira from Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salamtullah barakatuh.
Uncle, I have a question. My question is, I have a colleague. We work at night here in Bangladesh, based on the United States time. So what happens is during the last hour, we have a rule in our company stating that we cannot take a break on the last hour. But that's also the time we have the Fajr time. What happens with my colleague is that sometimes he prays before the Adhan. Is that prayer acceptable, even though I asked him why he keeps doing that? Can you please advise?
Okay. I will answer you, inshallah. وجزاك أخي الحبيب. We have Sanu from Pakistan.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam tullah barakatuh.
My question is, I am going for Hajj, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So I am expecting my periods on the day of Arafah. And if I have to leave Makkah, how can I perform? I cannot perform Tawaf-e-Ziyarah, and I cannot extend my trip due to the ticketing that we do. So what is the option for people who experience periods?
طيب. I will answer you, inshallah.
Jazakallah.
وجزاك. Okay, Mujiba from Bahrain, she is saying that, is it permissible to fast the white days, 13, 14, and 15 of every lunar month, plus Mondays and Thursdays? And the answer is definitely yes, you are doing a great thing by fasting both. See, in fasting, the sky is the limit. However, the Prophet ﷺ made a limit for us, and he said that you may fast the fasting of Dawood, peace be upon him, which is every alternate day. But you cannot fast more than that. So if you fast 3 days, the white days, and you fast Mondays and Thursdays, these are 8 days, most likely you will coincide one of the 3 days with a Monday and Thursday. So it's approximately 10 days a month. And this is a great thing for you to do and a great sunnah to follow. She says that I pray tahajjud prayer, but I stop about 45 minutes before the adhan of Fajr. Is this permissible? The answer is definitely yes. Not only that, it is the sunnah to stop before Fajr prayer and maybe sleep or take a short nap, because the Prophet ﷺ used to do this in the last 1/6 of the night. He used to sleep before Fajr until Bilal comes and wakes him up or announces to him that Fajr is approaching. So yes, there's no problem. You can pray the whole night or the last third of the night, but you must offer your witr or refrain from praying just before the adhan of Fajr. We have Bila from Qatar.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamtullah.
I would like to ask, I'm working here in Qatar. I would like to ask, I am unmarried, I'm single.
Okay.
And I would like to ask if I can go to Makkah or to Medina for my vacation, because I have no parents anymore.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have Shamim from Saudi Arabia. Shamim? Shamim? Yes, yeah, Shamim.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Salam wa barakatuh, akhi. Your line is breaking.
Hello.
Yes, akhi.
Yeah, Sheikh Asim, in one of your episodes during Ramadan, you said that Isha prayer is 1 hour after Maghrib prayer. But normally, all over the Muslim countries, it is prayed 1.5 hours after the Maghrib prayer. So which is correct? 1 hour after the Maghrib prayer or 1.5 hours after the Maghrib prayer?
Okay. Any more questions?
No, thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And we have Aliya.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, my question is, cutting short hair for ladies, small girls, is permissible, less than their shoulders, if their husband wants?
Okay.
Okay, Jazakallah khair.
Wa jazakum. Ahlan wa sahlan. Okay, Mujiba's last question. It's a custom in some countries when a person performs Hajj, when he comes back, they call him Hajji, as a sign of a new rank. So what's the ruling on that? This is something to do with the custom. So I would not go to the extent to say that this is haram or bid'ah or etc., but it is not recommended. It's like boasting about it. No one calls me because I pray 5 times a day in the masjid. No one says to me, a musalli, Asim. No one says to me, muzakki, when I pay my zakat. No one say, sa'im. So why is it Hajj when I go for that journey for 5 days or 7 days and I come back, they call me Hajji? This is sort of showing off, but it's as a custom. And it's a sign of respect to the people, because usually in these countries, you would not call a person who is in his 20s Hajji, though he had performed his Hajj. Usually this is a title is given to someone who's like in his 50s or in his 60s as a sign of respect. I would not say it's prohibited, but I would not recommend it as well. Abu Huraira from Bangladesh, he says that they are working the graveyard shift, which is usually from 11 o'clock until 7 o'clock. And the company policy does not allow them to take the break in the last hour. So his friend prays Fajr before the Adhan. And he tells him that this is wrong. So which one is right? No, definitely. Praying before the Adhan is not permissible, because Allah Azza wa Jal prescribed the prayer at specific timings. Allah says, Inna salata kanat ala al-mu'minina kitaban mawquta, that prayer has been prescribed at a specific time. So it is not permissible at all for such a person to pray before the time of the prayer. So you have from the time of the Adhan, and the last time for Fajr is when the sun starts to rise. The minute it rises, khalas, it's over, the time. So if there is sufficient time for you to pray within this gap, then you should do that, but you definitely must not pray before the Adhan, and you definitely must not pray after the sun rises. You have to pray on time, whether your job allows you or not. You have to improvise, you have to find a solution, prolong your working hours, have a deal with your manager, do something, but you have to pray on time. Abu Muhammad from Bahrain.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salaam alaikum wa barakatuh.
How are you, Sheikh? Everything's okay?
Yeah, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.
Sheikh, I have one question. So
yes.
My question is that I have borrowed some loan from my uncle a few years ago, and now he's died. So I want to know, do I have to give it back, this money, to his widow or his son, or can I make it charity on behalf of his or something like that?
Okay. Any more questions?
Sorry,
okay.
Only one question, sir.
Okay, my friend. I will answer you, inshallah.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Sano from Pakistan, she says that she's planning for Hajj, inshallah, and according to her calculations, her menses will be on the day of Arafah. So if it takes 5, 6 days, 7 days in as average, this means that on the 16th of the Hijjah, she would be able to perform the pillar of Hajj, which is Tawaf al-Ziyara or Tawaf al-Hajj or Tawaf al-Ifada, all for the same ritual, the 3 names. So she says, what can I do in this case? First of all, you have to try if there are safe medications for you to take to stop your menses. If this option is not possible, then the second optional must be taken into serious consideration, and that is to prolong your stay there until maybe the 20th of the Hijjah. More expenses, yes, but this is a one life shot. It is a ritual that is required once in a lifetime. So you have to figure out a way. If this is not possible and you have the third option, then the third option would be that you go back to your country and you come after you finish your menses. So if you go on the 12th or the 13th of the Hijjah, come 2 weeks later and do your tawaf, do your sa'i, and your Hajj would be done. If this third option is not practical or possible, in this case, the last and final solution would be that you ensure that you are properly taking your precautions, and you can make your tawaf and sa'i with your menses due to necessity, and this is the fatwa of Shaykh ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy on him, and also the fatwa of the scholars of Saudi Arabia for those who are unable to come with a proper solution. And this is something between you and Allah. Nobody's gonna make a spot check on you to ensure whether you are pure or not, but this is something that you have to take all these necessary measures, and if none of them works for you, then the last one is your last resort. Abdul Qadir from Pakistan.
Hello, Sheikh. Thank you so much. Actually, can I ask my question? I have three.
Yes, what is your question, Abdul Qadir? Abdul Qadir?
Hello?
Yes, what is your question, Akhi?
Thank you so much. Actually, I have a colleague that he says he's a Muslim, but he does not say his prayers on time. You know, he tends to stay in a very different time. What is?
What is? Abdul Qadir?
My wife, I don't know why, but she stopped saying prayers very lately. Yes.
Okay, she doesn't pray at all?
She stopped like a month ago. She says apparently she prayed a lot to Allah, and Allah did not.
Okay. I will answer your question, inshallah. The line is not very healthy. Bila from Qatar, she says that she's a single woman and she works in Qatar, and she would like to spend her vacation to travel to Mecca and Medina. So what's the ruling on that? Bila, it's not my call. The Prophet ﷺ, who you and I believe in, said that it is not permissible for a woman to travel without, it's not permissible for a woman who believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment to travel without a mahram. A mahram meaning an adult male who is related to her, and she cannot marry him till death, like a father, a brother, or a husband, of course, a son, an uncle, etc. Now, this was said at the time of Hajj. So the Prophet ﷺ said this when a man was registered to go in jihad while his wife went for Hajj. The Prophet ﷺ told him to leave the jihad and go accompany his wife, because what she had done is not permissible. So if it is not permissible to travel for Hajj, which is a pillar of Islam, for a woman who doesn't have a mahram, in this case, it is not permissible for a woman to travel for anything else, whether it's work, tourism, education, trading, etc., anything else. So this is the fatwa of the Prophet ﷺ, and Allah would reward you for your intention. So if you intend to go for Umrah or for Hajj and you're unable because you don't have a suitable mahram, because you have no one in your family to accompany you, in this case, Allah would reward you for your Hajj and for your Umrah, though you did not go because of your circumstances and your intention. And if you get married, that would be a good thing to do. We have a problem when it comes to marriage, and we are so picky. You shouldn't be. Yani for a boy who is suffering and he's 18 years of age and he wants to get married and his family is not allowing him to, you can get married. If you are stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you say, either I get married or I fall into haram. In this case, go and get married. He said, no one would marry me. He said, yeah, you will find someone who's 50 years old would marry you. And that would take the sin out of your mind. But you want someone to be like Miss Universe. And this is, you have a problem here. So my advice to those who are not married, let your bar a little bit down. Let your standard a little bit way down. And accept something that would save you from hellfire. Accept something that is not fully to your specs, but at least it takes sin away from you with the grace of Allah. Shamim says that most countries pray Isha an hour and a half after Maghrib. Is this correct? The answer is no. This is definitely not correct. If you come from Medina heading to Jeddah by car, and you come at the time of Maghrib, and you can see, well, because you're going in the direction of the west, Medina, to at some junction, though it's up north, but if you come in some certain areas, you would be headed towards the sea, and this is the west. You can see the sun setting. Once it sets, you can see the redness glowing in the direction of the west, in the horizon. And this is the redness that announces the time of Maghrib. Once this redness disappears, then this becomes pitch black, and this is the time of Isha. I've seen this myself. It took about 50 minutes or 55 minutes after sunset. So definitely the time of Isha being quoted as 1 hour and a half is wrong. However, if you're unable to see the disappearance of the redness in the horizon, in this case you cannot assume and jump to conclusions and pray Isha until you're certain that the time of Isha is due. And in cities we cannot do this unless we have the adhan being called, and Allah knows best. Abdul Aziz from Qatar.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I have two questions.
Abdul Aziz? Yeah, Abdul Aziz. We have a problem with the telephone lines. Abdul Aziz?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear my voice?
I can hear you now. What's your first question?
Yeah, first question is, if my sister don't...
If your sister does not?
With her. And my second question is...
No, I didn't get your first question, yeah, Abdul Aziz. I didn't get your first question. If your sister does not do what? I think we lost...
My second question...
Okay.
My second question...
I think we have a problem with the line. Abdul Aziz, please call again. Alia, she says that what's the ruling on cutting the hair shorter than the shoulders level if the husband is requesting this? And that's just permissible. A woman can cut her hair as short as she wants, providing that she is not imitating kafir and she is not imitating men. Sometimes you find women cutting their hair so short, if you look at them from behind, you think that this is a man. Now this is haram. This is imitating men. And Aisha used to swear by Allah, who honored and favored the women with long hair. So this is a privilege for women. But unfortunately nowadays, with the new haircuts and with the media, Muslim women tend to look at actresses and look at kafir and would like to look alike. Husbands, unfortunately, may do the same, which is even a greater sin, because they are ordered to lower their gaze. So they say, I want you to have your haircut like this pop star, or like this rapper, or like this actress, etc. And all of this is not permissible if that haircut is only done by kafir. But if it's a normal haircut, and Muslim women all over the world are doing it, there's no problem in that, as long as it's not imitating the men, and Allah knows best. Abu Muhammad from Bahrain says that he borrowed money from his uncle, and then his uncle died. So should he give the money in charity? Should he return? No, definitely not, akhi. You have no right in giving this money to charity. You must give the money back to the heirs of the deceased. So if he died leaving a wife, a son, a daughter, they have the right in that money. So it's their money now. You should give it to them, and they distribute it according to the Islamic Sharia. Abdul Qadir from Pakistan says, the question is not clear because the line was breaking. So it was the line of Abdul Aziz from Qatar. And he said that his wife doesn't pray. And she left prayer, I think, a week or a month ago. And she said that she prayed to Allah, but Allah did not answer her prayer, so she abandoned prayer. If you're talking about the 5 daily prayers, Ya Abdul Qadir, then there is a big problem. Because the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, he said that the pledge between us, the Muslims, and them, the disbelievers, is prayer. Whoever abandons prayer, he has committed an act of kufr. And in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, بين الرجل والشرك أو الكفر, between man and disbelief or associating others with Allah, is the only thing that divides him and separates him from kufr and shirk is abandoning salat. Abu Dawood added, so whoever abandons it, he has become a kafir. فَقَدْ كَفَرْ. Therefore, if your wife doesn't pray the 5 daily prayers and she confesses, she admits, she doesn't say, yes, I prayed. This is different because you're not 24/7 with her. You go to the bathroom, she could have prayed. You go out to the masjid, she could have prayed. But if she says, no, I will not pray, I asked Allah Azza wa Jal for 5 years to do something for me and He didn't do that for me, so I'm not praying at all. Then this is a problem. You should advise her, you should be strict with her, and if she insists, you should divorce her because she's not a Muslim anymore and you cannot remain married to such a person. But if she is talking about supplicating, which is a prayer, making dua, invoking Allah Azza wa Jal, she said, I'm not going to invoke Allah, this is a major sin. But she's still a Muslim, she has to be taught properly in the right way. She has to adhere to the fact that she is a slave. She is a servant of Allah Azza wa Jal. She's not talking to a peer of hers. When you ask Allah, oh Allah give me this and Allah doesn't give me that, I'm not gonna pray anymore. What is this? Do you think you have the ability to take a breath without Allah's permission? Do you think you can go to the bathroom and answer the call of nature if Allah does not allow you to? Are you insane? A single mosquito bite would put you in bed for Allah knows how long. Didn't you hear of Ebola? Didn't you hear of Mars or SARS or what, Corona? All these illnesses, all these problems, all this hunger, all these thirst, all these blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal, it's all from Allah. And you think that you can address Allah Azza wa Jal as you address your friend or your colleague? Then definitely you're not a Muslim. Come back to your senses and know that you are here to be tested and tried. And if you fail, you go to hell straight for eternity. But if you pass, then Allah, and you're patient and tolerant and you are submissive to Allah and you show your humility, Allah Azza wa Jal, when He wills it and when He sees that there is good for you in it, He will answer your call. Aisha from Nigeria. Aisha from Nigeria. I don't know what's happening, but so there seems to be a problem with the phone calls. I hope Aisha calls back again. A sister says that I have a problem. I get a lot of wiswas, illusions. Like when I'm sitting in the middle of a crowd, bad images about naked men, about gays, about lesbians. I try to avoid this, but I can't be sitting in the middle of a crowd and keep reciting A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim or Astaghfirullah. Please help me. I want to get rid of these bad illusions. I'm a dentist myself. If I don't watch porn stuff. First of all, these whispers are one of the hardest and most dangerous weapons of shaitan. Now the sister says that she doesn't watch porn, but I'm almost certain that she did watch porn or some of it for a portion of her life in the past. Nowadays she may not watch this, but she watch normal movies and watch normal soap operas, etc., meaning that she doesn't lower her gaze. And this is when shaitan seizes the chance and takes the moment. Because shaitan or the devil or Satan takes his time until you are ready to explore, until you're ready to fall. And once you're ready to fall, he puts his full arsenal and he bombards you with doubts and desires and illusions. If you lower your gaze, these illusions would start to disappear, but not immediately. Because shaitan works on a long term. So once he sees that your iman is increasing, he increases his doubts. He increases his whispers and wiswas. He adds more spices to the meal so that he ensures that eventually you would fall in the trap. He never approaches you directly. He takes his time. So it seems to me that either you're fantasizing a lot, and this is why you're opening the back door for shaitan to come and to infest your mind, or because you are trying to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, he is trying his level best to pull you down and not for you to progress in your quest to Allah Azza wa Jal. So keep on fighting, keep on saying Astaghfirullah al-Azim, try to get married if you're not married, and cut all your intake of movies and soap operas and the likes, and inshallah you'll be in good hands. Nadia from Saudi.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Salatullah.
Sheikh, I have two questions.
Yes.
My first question, actually I asked in the mail, I didn't receive the answer, so I want to repeat. I asked actually in Ramadan about the fidya for my mother-in-law who is not fasting, and you told me that even after Ramadan we can call 30 people and give them the meal. So actually I wanted to ask, for example, if we don't find 30 poor people together in one time, can we repeat the same 15? For example, if we have 15 people or 10 people, can we repeat for them 3 days or 2 days meal to complete 30%? And this meal should be only one time or twice, like because in a Ramadan we have sahur and iftar both.
Okay.
So we have to give only one meal to them or 2 meals.
And second question?
Did you get?
Yes, second question.
And my second question is the father's uncle, who is his mother's brother, he is mahram for a girl?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair.
And we have Aisha from Nigeria.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salamtullah.
I have two questions, Sheikh.
Yes.
One is regarding, I know it's advisable for a Muslim when you're sitting idle, you should actually do zikr or reading of the Quran. So I want to know that if there is a reward for watching like this Huda TV, Islamic channels, instead of watching other channels. Is it also idle by watching the Islamic channels, you have to be reading your Quran constantly and zikr? Or is it allowed to watch your Islamic channels? Then the second thing is regarding writing on with qalam, and there's this black ink they use in writing the Quran. Then they wash it off and then they give somebody to drink. Here in Nigeria, I've been asking from Sheikh, some will say it's haram, some will say it's not.
So this is a form of healing, Aisha? A form of healing?
Sorry, I don't get you.
Is it a form of healing that you are doing this so that you can cure an illness by drinking it?
Yes, at times it's for illness or pregnancy for women. They do, right?
Okay.
Then some, yeah.
Okay.
So I want to know whether it's actually permissible to do so or not.
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Nadia from Saudi Arabia, she says that her mother-in-law did not fast and due to old age or to illness, and she wants to give the expiation, which is feeding a poor person for every day missed. So is it 2 meals or 1 meal? The answer is 1 meal. So if you cook a lot of food and you invite 30 people to eat from it, this does the job. Now she says that it's difficult to find 30 people, so can we invite 10 people and feed them 3 different meals? The answer is yes, this is permissible, inshallah, because for every day you have to feed 1 poor person. You can feed one poor person for 30 days, and this would do the job for the whole month of Ramadan. Allah knows best. Abdul Qadir from Qatar.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Samtullah.
Yeah, I want to ask my second question, and it is one of my children becomes sick and I can't buy drug, and but at the same time I see the Kingdom Salman went to the beach travel with
This is nothing to do with the question, yeah, Abdul Qadir. Forget this. Okay, Nadia says that how many meals? One meal. Fatur or suhoor? No. You just give one single meal and this is sufficient, inshallah. The second question is that the uncle of the father, is he a mahram to a woman? The answer is yes. Your father's paternal uncle or maternal uncle is your mahram. This is understood, inshallah. And the brother of your grandfather, who is the uncle of your father, the same thing. But your husband's uncle is not related to you, and he's not a mahram as so many Muslims think. So this is clear, inshallah. Aisha from Nigeria, she says that her first question I wasn't able to understand, but it seems that she's asking if I watch Islamic TV channels where they recite the Quran and they teach hadith and sunnah, and there are social programs that they bring Muslims back to their religion. Am I being rewarded? And the answer is definitely yes. You are rewarded because whatever goodness you listen to from the Quran and from the sunnah, this is the word of Allah Azza wa Jal and the teachings of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So you are definitely doing dhikr, and Allah would reward you for that. And her second question was about writing the Quran and then washing the writing with water and drinking it. Is this permissible? Some scholars say that this is permissible in the case of ruqyah. So if a person has a spell, a magical spell, a sorcerer casted a spell on him, or he has an evil eye or jinn possession, etc., they say that writing the verses of the Quran of ruqyah with saffron and then washing it and drinking it, or washing the body with it, or taking leaves, 7 of them, and grinding them and then doing the same and drinking it, this has a lot of good in it, inshallah, as a means of curing. As for pregnancies, this is not an illness, so I can not say that it would work, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Rayan from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Sir, I have 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
First question is it permissible to say Ya Rasulullah like we say Ya Allah?
For what? Doing that for what, Ya Rayan?
Like usually we say Ya Rasulullah. Before Ya Rasulullah, we say Ya Rasulullah, like we say Ya Allah.
No, why do you say Ya Rasulullah? You are addressing the Prophet, you're asking him for something?
Hello?
Yes, Rayan. Rayan?
Hello? Yes.
Are you asking the Prophet something, Akhi?
Yes.
What are you asking him?
Hello?
Okay, I think Rayan, if you call us again, I would appreciate that. Sayyid says, some people say that the Dajjal will have a palace on Jabal Habshi in the outskirts of Medina, and that is a place that has been, and there is a place that has been built there recently. What are your thoughts on this, and does this mean anything? Thank you. First of all, some people say, how would I verify this? And they said that the Dajjal would have a house in Jabal Habshi. Now, where did they get this from? Is it from an authentic hadith, first of all? Second of all, some people say This is not part of our Islamic beliefs or etiquettes to depend on rumors or hearsay and whatever people delegate and mention in their gatherings. On the contrary, the Prophet ﷺ forbade this, and he said, كَفَى بِالْمَرْءِ إِثْمًا أَنْ يُحَدِّثَ بِكُلِّ مَا سَمِعَ. It is sufficient burden and sin that a person would speak with everything that he hears. So many people call and say, this person did this, that person did that, all things that are not related to reality. Akhi, did you see this yourself? No, but I heard people say. I googled Wikipedia and they said that this is confirmed. Subhanallah. It is one of the signs of the approaching of the Day of Judgment when a liar is believed and the man saying the truth is being accused of lying. This is an authentic hadith where the Prophet told us about it, alayhi salatu wasalam. So the Prophet said, alayhi bi'sa matiyatul rajuli an za'amu. And this roughly translates to that it is one of the most hated and abhorred ways of speaking to say, or to begin what you want to say by saying, I heard people say, they claim that this and this. So I could come and begin anything, any topic, by relieving myself from responsibility. And I say to Brother Sayyid, I hear people say that you're gay, akhi. And I don't know, astaghfirullah. What are your thoughts about this? Is this acceptable? Now you're basing your allegation upon what people say, upon a hadith that the Dajjal would take a palace in Jabal Habshi or Hibshi or whatever at the outskirts of Medina. So you know where that place is? No. Have you seen it? No. Is it confirmed that the Prophet said this? I don't know, they say. Subhanallah. Have you seen that the place does not take any other palaces around it? So how can you build any argument on this? Therefore, we should not pay any attention to such rumors or cheap talk that doesn't add any value. We believe that Dajjal is coming and he would be prevented from entering Mecca and Medina. So the palace you're talking about being built there at Jabal Habshi, do you think that the people are furnishing his accommodation in anticipation of his coming? This is not logical. Fatima from Gambia. Fatima from Gambia.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
We wanted to ask, can you fast Saturday?
I cannot understand your question, Fatima. Mute your TV, please, and talk to me from the phone.
Yeah, okay. We're asking if you can.
Yes, Fatima. What is your question?
If you can fast Shawwal on Saturday.
Okay. I will answer, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay, Rayyan's question wasn't clear, but he was saying or asking about saying Ya Rasulallah. Now, in Arabic, Ya is known as harfun nida. It's a preposition used to address something. It's like the O, when we say, O Allah, when we address Allah. So, Ya is used to address a person. When I want to call a friend of mine, his name is Abdullah, I said, Ya Abdullah. Or if I want to call the crane operator who's operating the camera, I say, Ya Khalid Eid, for example. So I'm addressing him. I'm saying, Ya. Now, if someone says, Ya Rasulullah, and he's addressing the Prophet ﷺ, we have a problem. If it's talking to the Prophet or asking the Prophet ﷺ, this is shirk. If it's part of the supplication, this is okay. So this is not addressing the Prophet ﷺ, as in the case of the tahiyyat. We say at-tahiyyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. As-salamu alayka ayyuha nabi, or as-salamu ala nabi wa rahmatullah. So this is not addressing the Prophet ﷺ. I'm not addressing him or talking to him, because this would be shirk in the salah. This is invocation. This is the dua. It's something totally different and not related. But now when someone says, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, as they do in nasheed, you have a problem, akhi. Are you talking to the Prophet ﷺ? He said, no, I'm not addressing him. So why are you using the preposition, ya? Why are you saying, O Prophet of Allah, don't you see what's happening to us? No, he doesn't. Why are you addressing him? This is shirk, this is kufr. You should refrain from that. And this is why we have to know, if someone addresses the Prophet ﷺ by saying, Ya Rasulullah, what does he mean by that? Fatma from Gambia, she says that, what's the ruling on fasting the 6 days of Shawwal, and one of the days is a Friday? So what's the problem? She says the problem is that the Prophet ﷺ forbade us from singling out Friday. And the hadith is in the Sahih. When he went to his one of his homes, and he saw his wife fasting on a Friday. So he asked her, did you fast yesterday? She said, no. He said to her, are you fasting tomorrow, which is a Saturday? She said, no, which meant that she's singling Friday alone. The Prophet told her, break your fast. So the scholars say that breaking or fasting Friday, singling it out on voluntary days without any reason is totally prohibited. But if there is a reason, such as making up for a missed day, such as Arafah, Ashura, or the 6 days of Shawwal, and if you single it out, then this is not because of a Friday, because of what you're doing. This is permissible, inshallah. Samra from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamullah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm a doctor and I'm married 22 years, and my husband is not happy with me, especially in the physical relations, and I tried my best, and I know that a lady, if her husband is not happy with her, she will not enter Jannah. I tried my best, but now the things got worse, and slowly and gradually I developed that I feel hatred toward this relationship. I tried to make up. I asked him, if he wants to marry another lady, he can marry. And if he wants to get something, I can give everything with me, I can give him. So whatever he wants, if he wants to divorce, he can even do. But really, I'm very much worried. May Allah not be happy with me. And I tried my best, and I can't do anything, and it's not working.
Don't worry. I will answer you. Any more questions?
Thank you, doctor.
No problem, inshallah. We have Ayman from the Philippines.
No, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamullah.
No, in Baljurashi, Saudi.
In Baljurashi? Oh, it's close by to the Philippines. No problem.
Sheikh, I want to ask something about my colleague, Filipina. She converted to Islam.
Okay.
Then I told him to, because she's married, in she has a husband and a daughter. So somebody told me that she cannot, if she go to Philippines, she cannot have marital sex, right?
She has to what, akhi?
Marital sex, or marriage.
With her husband, who's a Christian.
Yeah, but it's not Muslim.
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah.
Why? There is a nice.
Okay, inshallah, I will answer you. Okay, we have 2 minutes, so let's fire, inshallah. Samra from Saudi Arabia, she says that she's a doctor for 22 years. She's married. Her husband is not happy with her, especially when it comes to issues of intimacy. She offered him to get married. She offered him to do whatever she is capable to do, but he's still unhappy with her. In this case, if it is your husband's shortcomings, if he's the one who's not ever pleased, and it is him who is falling short of doing his duties, yet he's complaining and nagging, and like a lot of the husbands would do, put you in under the spotlight, making you feel the guilt. No, Allah is not unhappy with you. As long as you're doing whatever you can to please Him and to satisfy His needs and to obey His instructions, but He's still not happy. You cannot do anything about this, and He's the one who's the aggressor, and He's the one who's doing dhulm on you, so you have no problem in doing that. You don't have to be so worried or tensed, because you have done all what you can, and Allah would only judge you for what you can. So don't have any problems with that. If you can get someone to counsel both of you, so you tell him, okay, let's get someone from outside, a third person who would judge and would listen to both of us and can pinpoint the problem. Says, no, akhi, you as a husband, you're wrong, or you as a wife, you're wrong. Then that would be much better. Ayman from Bulgaria, she says that a woman, alhamdulillah, reverted to Islam. She has a husband back in the Philippines and a daughter. So what's the ruling on her going back and living with her husband? This is totally prohibited. As long as he's a kafir, he's a disbeliever, he's a Christian, once she accepts Islam, the marriage contract is dissolved. They're not related anymore. He's not related to her. He is a non-mahram. She cannot live with him. She cannot meet with him. She cannot stay with him. If he accepts Islam, alhamdulillah, they can go back together without any problem. But as she is a Muslim, she must not have any kind of communication with him. Now, if she's here, she could call him, send him SMSs, invite him to Islam. If he is reciprocating, alhamdulillah. If he's not, if he's defiant, in this case, she should do the legal ways and means to stop this. And the final question is from Umar. He says, what are the limitations between a girl and her fiancé? How should they behave to one another? A fiancé is not your mahram. He is not your husband. The marriage contract has not been signed. So he's a total stranger to you. You should not communicate. You should not SMS, chat, share books, WhatsApp, app, etc. No. He's a total stranger. Once the marriage contract is written, then he is your husband. The sky is the limit. This is all the time we have until we meet next week, same time. I leave you fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech.